I'll see if you can figure out what's wrong with this thing.
It ain't got no gas in it.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. We're doing final assembly of this pump, and let's talk about shims for a minute. I ran into a shim problem. If you go back and look at the first video when I was disassembling this thing, I had showed you that on these caps here, this is the caps that go on top of this, there were some shims missing on these, and I didn't know how it was going to work out. So what I did was I went back and started reassembling it. And remember, we had piston number 1, piston number 2, and piston number 3. So what I did is I took these shims that were on there, measured them. Sorry, these little shims. This is what came on the pump, and I put them back on this cylinder number 1, and it's pretty good. It's pretty tight. There's not a whole lot of moving and shaking going around. And then this cap that we had marked number 3 already had 2 shims on it. So I put number 3 back together, and it was pretty good. But this one we had marked number 2 didn't have any shims on it. And when I put it back on, it was a little bit sloppy. So it probably would work like it is, but it's not really as good as I'd like it. So what I'm going to do now is try to get some shims to go back on here, reinstall it, and see if it's a little bit better. So how I'm going to do that, take my little mic here, zero it out. I took this number 3 back off so I could pull this shim stock out, or this shim out, get this around here where you can see it. And this one is $10. About 9 thousandths in the front. So I'm gonna say 10 thousandths is what I'm looking for. I got my little cabinet here. Shim stock is just stuff I save and put in a little drawer. So I'm gonna go through here and see if I got anything that's about 10 thousandths. That's 1/6. Eight. Here's some old shims that I had bought. Sometimes you gotta find something and double them up. I know this brass is not that thick. 60 thousandths. That old leather's 14. That's 10. That's 11. So I think I can cut this, maybe make 1, maybe make 2 out of that. Let me measure this one more time. Can you guys see that? Oh, sorry. So that's 10. A little bit thick. Let me try this piece. That's 12. 11. It helps to save these old scraps of stuff. That's 5. I could double that up. Hope you're seeing this. 5. So if I took these two and put them together, It's 15, a little bit too thick. So I think what I'm going to do is take this one, where'd it go? That's 5. Oh, here's my original one. I can't get rid of that. What is this? 6. 2. A lot of this stuff, you keep all this thin stuff so you can really dial it in. I think this was the piece. That's 6. Okay, I'm going to take some of these pieces I got here, which look like just old hard leather, and put them in there, put them together, see if I can get close to this 10 thousandths. And go ahead and cut these, and I'll bring it back in and see how close we get and how we need to shim this out. Okay, hang tight just a second. Okay, we're back. So what I ended up doing, because I didn't really have a whole lot of thin stock, so I made this mess here, which is a bunch of real thin stuff put together. The important thing is to get the correct thickness from the top of the bearing, or the rod, to the bottom of the bearing. Get this thickness in here across the board, assuming your wear is even. As you go through and look at these and do them one by one, you may have to add or subtract a little bit here and there. So I cut these. I cut a bunch of thin pieces in there. So it gives me ability to take 1 or 2 out as I go along. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and put cylinder number 3 back together, because I know it's good. It's got 2 shims on the bottom, and I've already used the other shim to cut my pattern. So I'm just going to do a little pre-greasing. I cleaned all these bearing surfaces up real good, and I'll dab a little bit of grease in there on the on the push rod bearing and on the journal, and then make sure I got number 3. That's number 2. Number 3 is here. A little bit in there. Now we'll eventually put the grease cups back on and squeeze some grease in there, but I wanted to do this way. So this is the original, this right here is the original one that was in there. I'm just going to center this back up, turn this flywheel, I hope. Try to get it right about there. Number 3 goes like this. Insert the cap. And I gotta get this other bearing to put back on this bolt. Or the other shim, I should say. I'm just gonna go in there like that. Try to evenly tighten them down as best we can. Make sure we get the nut started so it doesn't cross thread. And get my 9/16 wrench. I'm just going to try to hand tighten them down evenly. Then we can snug them up a little bit later. Let me move this piston up a little bit. Okay. There it goes. If your piston's a little bit down in the hole, I put all the pistons down, just get them lubricated a little. But when you tighten the nuts down, it'll pull the piston back up. So you don't have to worry about trying to force it. We'll put these, like I say, just hand tight until I get this second one done. And then we can adjust them all out and add or subtract a shim as needed. So, okay, so now what I'm gonna do is go back in this one, put this cap back, get all these lined up, put this cap back in, and put this one back in and adjust them as we need to go till we get a good solid travel in here with no play. Just to update you on a couple things that I did. In case you're doing one of these stuff you need to check for. Let me turn the pump around real quick and show you this side. See that? This bearing cap here on the flywheel part, when I went to screw this grease cup back in with the extension that I told you I was going to do, it didn't want to tighten up. So I had to take this back off and tap it, and that solved that problem. And then I added this elbow here. I didn't want to put a brass piece back on there, but it's what I had in the tool cabinet, so we're going to use that. And then this is our little air release valve. Got that installed. The thing that I use when I'm doing this stuff, I use it on all these caps and valves in here. I use this anti-seize stuff. You don't want to get a water base for a pump because it will layer it out, but this is just Loctite silver grade, or really anything that you can get as an anti-seize. I use it because if I ever have to take this pump apart again, I want to be able to get stuff out without it struggling. And one last little neat thing that I thought was pretty cool is I went on eBay to see if I could maybe find an old manual or something for this, and this popped up. Deane, D-E-A-N-E. This little wrench was there, and it says I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. It's whole yoke, and if you look back at the front of the video, that's what was on the other side of this pump. Interestingly enough, this wrench fits these caps here. It just happens to be the right size, and it fits these nuts up here. So I don't know if this wrench was made for this pump or is just some kind of universal thing, but I just thought it was pretty neat that I was able to find this and get it, and it actually fits something on this pump. So we're going to put that wrench there as part of the display with the pump. Okay guys, we're done with this thing. In the next video, we're going to get it hooked up to our electric motor, get everything greased real well, and see if it's going to pump water. Okay, come back very soon.